Hey everyone, Gale Network here, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Tuesday, August 26th, 2025, and we've got some cool things to go over today because rumors are ramping up on a possible slash very likely, in my opinion, September Nintendo Direct. I actually made a video about it this morning, which is up on the channel now. Although, if you are here at the moment, there's a decent chance that you haven't seen the video because the video is rather long and the amount of time it takes to get through it could be interrupting with this live stream. So we'll see how many people pop up in here. This will be a little bit of a shorter live stream. I might be back on later today for more. However, I also wanted to go over the live stream schedule because I have a little bit of a better idea now as to when I'll be going live throughout the week and kind of why I chose that time, how I went about that decision. Not 100% certain just yet, but I'm getting there. But how are you all doing today? If you have already watched the video, which some of you might be able to be done with by now since it is about 47 minutes, what did you think? I thought it was fun. It was definitely fun to do. Whether or not you enjoyed it, that remains to be seen, but I had a really good time putting it together. It was live, it was in one take, and I just spoke firing off, this is what I would like to see, some of what I think we might see, some of it being, hopeful territory, but I kind of laid out my ideal Nintendo Direct. And whether we get less or more likely than not less, it should be pretty fun. So I'm going to take a look over here and see what's up. See who's in here right now. We've got some people watching, which is good. Thank you, thank you. I'll wait for more people to come in before I start talking about the upcoming schedule of live streams. For now, I kind of want to hear, what do you want out of this Nintendo Direct? And do you want it to be one big Nintendo Direct that's like a 47 to 52 minute long presentation in which during it Nintendo decides to carve out a specific chunk that's designated to the Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary conversation? Or would you rather have two different directs, maybe a couple of weeks apart, to sort of spread the fun a little bit longer throughout September? Having one in the beginning of the month and one in the middle. And whether you want it to be split between early and middle or all at once, early or middle, what do you want to see? What are you most excited for? Explain to me your ideal Mario game. Do you want to see footage from the upcoming Super Mario World movie? Do you not care about the movie so much and really just want to see the games? Are you okay with remasters and remakes sort of satisfying that 3D Mario itch until something more grand comes out? Or are you done with the past and the only thing that interests you is a new big 3D Mario? Do you care about things like new Legos, new partnerships with Levi's, some Havaiana shoes here, or a deal with Puma or Nike there for new Mario merch, or Mario teaming up with Crocs and there being official Super Mario Bros. Branded Crocs, some kind of variety? After all, they just did team up with Animal Crossing. What about Super Mario Bros. Wonder? Did you like the game? Did you like the game enough that you would buy some DLC or play a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of it? That's a lot of Mario talk to go over, but I'm curious where your hearts and minds are regarding that. And then on the general Nintendo Direct, it could very well be a big one, as it would flesh out the holiday season, likely giving us release dates for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think what else could show up is Kirby Air Riders for just a brief moment, you know. The Dusk Bloods, perhaps with a quarter of when it's released in 2026. Splatoon Raiders, if I didn't mention that. So some of the games we know about having release dates and or quarters of release. Good afternoon, Sean Black. Welcome. You're here right on time. I'm just talking about some of the possibilities of what we could see in the Super Mario Bros. Nintendo Direct or the general Nintendo Direct, and what people would like out of it. And how would you like it to be split up? One big show, early or mid-September, or two shows, Mario being smaller in length, and, you know, a grand Nintendo Direct being longer. Definitely need some dates for sure. Yeah, we sure do. Particularly Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That one we need a date. We've been waiting for a long time, you know? Since that June E3 2017 reveal, we haven't had a date. Oof, that's a long time. I'll never forget that January, like 2019 morning, maybe it was January 19th or something like that, where they announced the game has unfortunately been scrapped and rebooted. So at this point, we've had purely retro studios working on it since approximately October of 2018. That's a considerable amount of time. The game will have been in development for about 7 years under just Retro Studios. And it looks like they didn't take any of the assets, any of the sound that presumably Bandai Namco had worked on for the game, you know, in their like year and a half or so prior. Did they use anything? Any enemy designs? Any, you know, sculpting of an enemy whatsoever? If not, then yeah, it's truly 7 years all on their own. And that's quite a considerable amount of time. I'm expecting a masterpiece out of them for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Right? We know it's 2025. Just give us the date. It's a really weird one for me to be thinking, dang, we've known about this for so long and have no date, you know? And initially I thought, well, the reason why they didn't give us the date back in June of 2024 at that Nintendo Direct was because maybe the game was tied to the launch of Nintendo Switch 2 and it was going to be, you know, a cross-generational title simultaneously released on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, but it would serve as a launch game for NS2 and thus kind of obviously spoil it. But that wasn't the case, you know. Nintendo Switch 2 came out, got confirmation of Prime 4 Beyond, and still here we are, like, you know, almost 3 months later and no Metroid update in terms of a month even. But whatever, like, I'm patient. It's cool. I know it's coming. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited. That's my most anticipated game of the year. Donkey Kong Bonanza was pretty close after I played both at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience in Los Angeles back in April, but the number one was still Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. But yeah. Will Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment end up being a 2025 game or not? It could be a December release, but if it comes out this year, I almost wonder, is it a little bit too crowded to have Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment? Those 4 games come out between October and December. Potentially September through December, but would you put Metroid in September with such little heads up? Or Splatoon Raiders or Hyrule Warriors? I don't think so. So I'm thinking these games, 3 out of the 4 come out between October, November, and December. December is not a super common month for Nintendo to release big things, but they aren't against it. They have released titles in December in the past. Super Smash Brothers, for instance, has. And there are some other ones. Can't think of everything at the moment, but yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't mind if both Splatoon Raiders and Age of Imprisonment come out in early 2026, like 2 months apart. One of them is January or February, one of them is March or April. That's okay. You got Duskbloods, maybe, maybe at the earliest like a May or something like that, June, but it could be, well, it depends on when it's ready, right? But it could be fitting that it's, an October release just to, play on the Halloween aspect of, horror-like gameplay and environments and such. Although it could come out at any time, really. It's just when is it ready. But Nintendo and their partners, they try more often than not to space things for the consumer, for affordability, and for their own games so that everybody could sell. You put things too big, too cool, too close together, and no one's got unlimited money, and a gamer might be tossed between this or this and forget about the other one because the hype has gone down and now the next new thing is out. So, having a nice flowing schedule of stuff constantly being put out there is definitely important. I think that during the Nintendo Switch generation, Nintendo and third parties did a great job in that avenue. We'll see if they could continue this time around. But release dates of Elden Ring, of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade, those are also important. Could we see something like Doom: The Dark Ages show up at this? Rare Replay, I'm getting into different hype speculation territory, but it's hard to not be hyped and speculate and, have a good time thinking of what could we end up seeing. If you're tuning into this live stream now, thank you. Although, like I previously mentioned, to those of you that were here from the beginning, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream, but still, I'm happy to answer questions, read your comments, and if you have anything that you want to share that I would really love to see this game come out at this Nintendo Direct, please give me Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh, come on, let me see the next Call of Duty. Or I want to be surprised with a brand new Star Fox. Let me hear it. I'm always excited to hear what is everybody else thinking. Mustache Man, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Sean Black, Mustache Man, have either of you seen this morning's video? It's a long one. I don't blame you if you have better things to do than watch a 45 or so minute long speculation video. But if you did watch it, I'm curious what you thought. Or maybe you're interested in watching it later. Either way, thank you. And no worries if you didn't. But it was definitely a fun one to make. So hopefully, some folks out there have the time or the want to hear 45 minutes of hype on what could these presentations be and what I would like them to be. Cool, Sean. Thank you. Mustache Man. Haven't got the chance to yet, but we'll watch later for sure. Cool. Well, thanks. And some of what I discuss right now is probably in that video, vice versa, right? But this live stream is more geared towards, I want to hear what you have to say, because I guess the ideal order would be folks will have watched that video and then tune into the live stream. And then now they're like, okay, wow, that's what you want, Paul. Here's what I want, because I want to hear what you want. You know what I mean? But in the opposite sense, it could be cool to share your thoughts here first, have me react and interact with you all, as I enjoy just talking and hearing what everybody has to think about this stuff, and then go ahead and watch that. That'd be cool too. There's likely some overlap. Mustache Man saying, I'm just waiting for the next Fire Emblem. Then I'll be truly stoked. It sure looked like we were going to get a Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake at some point, right? And that never came too. So I wonder if that's one of those games that maybe Nintendo was cooking, had ready to go, was never in too much of a rush to deliver, and so they just didn't. They took their time, and they'll release it now on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, the latter getting an NS2 edition, better frame rate, higher resolution graphics, all that stuff. Boo Mini, hello, welcome. I work from home, so I decided to go to a park down the street to have lunch and now watch this live stream. That sounds like a nice afternoon. I hope you have a good time. Sitting at the park, having some lunch, hopefully good weather outside, not too hot, not too cold. Summertime, so for most people, it's on the warmer side. But enjoy. Sit in some shade. Hopefully have a good time in the chat. Ali Sala, hello. Welcome. Michael Gutmann, hello. Welcome. I see that Michael Gutmann's got the Lisek's Great Adventure emoji badge next to his name. Pretty sweet. Have you noticed that? Other people in the chat? Mustache Man has the 1 month Ryu charging up his Hadoken badge. That's pretty cool. I like seeing those. These little badges represent how long you've been subscribing to the channel. The Lisek's Great Adventure one is the new to the channel badge. The Ryu with a side profile Hadoken being charged up, that's the you've been here for a month. There's a 2-month one. There's a 4-month one, a 6-month one, a 1-year one, and then there's like year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully you all like them in time. Mustache Man, I would cry if that fabled Fire Emblem 4 remake were to be real. I think it is. It's just a matter of time. I think it's going to happen. Sooner or later. Sean Black, good question to Boo Mini. If she got Astral Chain in the mail yet. Because that is a good one. Michael, due to some changes in my schedule, I may not be able to be here as much, but I'll try to come as much as possible. Hey, thank you for being here for as much as you can make, whether you're showing up to the live streams, watching the shorts, hopefully having a good time with like the GoldenEye 007 one the other day was a lot of fun, or watching, the videos like the one I filmed this morning, that 45-minute beefy one later. Like, hey, I appreciate all of it. Thank you. It means a lot that you try to support in any way. And hopefully it's because you're enjoying the product. And that's what I like to hear. Oh, cool. Boo Mini. So you did get Astral Chain. You have been playing it. And you think it's pretty good. And it has a lot of combat. Good to hear. Andres, hi. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Mustache Man excited for the 6-month one. Yeah. That's cool. Can you all see them in advance? I didn't think of that. I'm like, are these no longer surprises because I put them up on my end as I think that this would be cool for this. I think this would be cool for this. And a surprise. Or, hey, just as I was talking about, like, well, the surprises of having these badges pop up to you, maybe you already see them. Speaking of surprise, Attack the Backlog with the £2 super chat. Hi, a legend, just dropping to say hi. Hi, Attack the Backlog. Thank you for being here. You are the top donor of the stream. And, pardon this setup being a little bit janky, to be fair. But nonetheless, the appreciation factor that I have is very real. So thank you for being here. It's very nice of you. My little sign of thanks. Oops. Let's see. How do I make a 2 on here? Well, I know how to make a 2, obviously. How do I make a pound sign? You know what? I'm going to put 2 because I don't know how to input the proper amount like that, right? Oh, hold on. This might work. Will this work? Heck yeah, dude. Sweet. Attack the Backlog. Thanks a lot. Just anyone's presence here is something that I'm grateful for. I love talking. I love seeing you all in the chat, interacting with one another, little community forming. A lot of you know each other from other YouTubers' streams like Nintendo Prime and Play Essence, Andres Restart, and Mike Odyssey, etc. But however you're here, I appreciate it. Attack the Backlog. Now way janky. Love seeing all the cool stuff on your shelves. Thanks. Hi to Michael Gutmann. That's cool. So regardless, thank you for being here. But like especially helping out the stream with a little bit of support like that goes a long way. So I'm grateful. And yeah, one of these days I have to do like a little bit of a. This doesn't cover most of it. It just covers some because I've got like an entire closet full of very carefully stacked E3 memorabilia from 20 in-person shows dating back to 2000. I've got foam rubber GameCubes, velvet sleeved Wavebird carrying case as being one of the first people in the United States to get a Wavebird, which was from E3 back in May of like 2002, a month before they were released in North America, because I won it at E3 from Nintendo, up there playing Mario Party like 4 or something like that, or 5. Different E3 newspapers, classic stuff, t-shirts from different companies. Like I've got a lot of cool swag from those shows, and there's 20 of them that I went to, so there's quite a bit of neat stuff. Keychains, pins, badges, you name it. But in this room, I have some amiibo. Most of my amiibo are in the living room of my house. I've got some posters, but some things like you can't quite see behind, like right here, for instance. This is kind of neat. This is from the Super Mario Brothers movie premiere, not the ticket to the movie. The red carpet movie ticket I have also back there, but that one was for the official after party where I just had a fantastic time. And there's a whole story behind that after party too. But we've got some First 4 figure statues in the background. Beautiful Metroid Dread poster up there. kind of off to the side of Link on the King of Red Lions. And then there's stuff like behind me that this chair builds up. So one of these days, I'll have to do some kind of game room tour, and then maybe further down the line, do some, here's swag that I've collected over the last 20 years of E3s, and then earlier than that even, just some of my old gaming collection. Some Pokemon cards. Like, I've got a lot of cool stuff, you know. When you're 42, you've lived long enough to have collected a bunch of stuff that some people perceive as junk, but the real ones know that, it's legit. What else? We got some more comments coming in. Free Metroid hat. Welcome back. With a $5 super chat. Big thank you. Ordering the first 4... Oh, sweet. Ordering the first 4 figures, Metroid Prime Various Suit, Samus today. Very cool. Good for you. We were just talking the other day about it, right? You're talking about the PVC one, right? Not this one. Unless if... Did you find this one out there in the wild? If you found this one out there in the wild, hopefully you didn't have to pay an arm and a leg, because I know they've definitely gone up in price. If you got the PVC one, hey, that one's pretty sweet, man. You're gonna like it. Like, it's a really cool statue. And okay, yeah, that one, I love it. I was tempted to buy the Gravity suit too, and like going back, if I knew, and I probably should have known. Actually, I think I had the tip that it was going to happen. I would consider, since I have the big Various suit, maybe instead of having the big Various suit and then also having the smaller Various suit, wait a little bit to have the Gravity suit in the smaller version, so I would just have color variety in my house. And my wife's favorite color also happens to be purple, so that would have kind of been like a good fit in that regard for the living room. But it's all good. I'm happy with this. Of course, I could just buy the Gravity suit and have some purple here and put it elsewhere. Eventually, though, you start to wonder, how many statues am I going to have in the house, and how much room do I have for everything? Because I'm not a storage guy. I want this out there and to be seen guy. But regardless of that, thank you, Free Metroid Hat, for your donation. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for you to get that Various suit, Samus. The good thing about it being PVC also is, oh yeah, do you know about this? I don't want to spoil it for you, but to make it a little bit different, Samus Aran in the PVC, I don't want, like I said, I hope this is not a spoiler for you, but this is her default arm that this statue has, right? Well, I didn't want, if I'm going to have like basically the same statue twice, I didn't want them to look identical, so I took off her default arm and put in arm number 2, which is just straight down, so it would be a little bit different. So I keep this one up here now. But yeah, these first 4 figure statues are awesome. Let's see, what else we got? Some talking amongst each other. Mustache Man, pre-order Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion for Nintendo Switch 2. You really enjoyed the demo, good. And you usually pre-order games that they have a good demo. Yeah, well, cool, I'm glad you liked it. That demo was big. I mean, well, big in size, file size, like 20 gigs. I remember when I put it on X, people were like, wait, 20? Like, really, for the demo? Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it a game key card / digital only? Mustache Man? You know, at the end of the day, you're going to enjoy the game. It's going to be sweet. It's not going to make the game any less good if it's not physical. And like physical, let's say, is your preferred form of medium. It's still going to be fine. But it would be nice if it was physical too. But I hope the game does well, because I did like the demo also. It was fun. To be fair, I liked Daemon X Machina back on Nintendo Switch. I really liked the demo at E3. I remember I was getting toured by it by a good friend at Nintendo. I could say his name, Charlie Shabetta. He brought me into the Nintendo VIP section, which is within E3's Nintendo booth, but like on the inner side, and he toured me for all of the games, but in particular, going over uh, Daemon X Machina. That's a case where I liked the demo more than the game. The game itself was still pretty good though. This, I would say, this demo is also good, and if the game is comparable to the demo in quality, I think we're in for like a nice release. Let's see. Some of the demos that got you to buy the full release: Lies of P, Stellar Blade, and Unicorn Overlord. Yeah. What is the total sales worldwide for Nintendo Switch 2? Well, we have Nintendo's official sales at 5.82 as of June 30th, and that occupies 25 days worth of data. But we also know that it has sold over 6 million as they crept into July a little bit. Now that July has passed and we're into August, I would either have to ask for some more accurate updates, which sometimes I'm privy to getting something a little bit before it becomes publicly knowledgeable about from various folks, or at the very least, I could look into it from another way, and that is reading between the lines of different sales reports and using some math and some know-how to be like, it's probably this. If I say probably this, then that's me using, some math and some guidance of what numbers are out there and reading in between some lines and understanding how sales trajectory works to say, oh, probably 8 million. But if I hear something, if I'm told something, then I can say, and my wording is different when I'm saying, it is approximately 8.32 or something like that, So how many is it right now? I don't know based off of any kind of conversation, but where is it at? Somewhere around 8 million. Just off of a quick thinking from, hey, it's been several weeks since we knew that it passed 6, and just looking at Japan and hearing reports from Matt Piscatella, seeing how well it's doing in European markets, observing in North America how fast it goes off of shelves, etc. Around 8 is my initial thought, but that's without like doing a little bit of deeper diving myself or asking anybody that I know that kind of knows, Michael's asking, attack the backlog. Do you think the Metroid Prime Direct is this week? Oh man, Mike Odyssey said he has info it's this week. Also, do you think the Mario 40th Direct is first week of September? Okay, so you're asking attack the backlog. I mean, I'll chime in a little bit. I would love it if tomorrow morning I woke up and Nintendo said stay tuned for tomorrow, which would be Thursday the 28th, for a 12-minute direct on Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Like, that would be the coolest thing ever. How to finish off August. I would absolutely love it. But you're asking attack the backlog, so I'm curious to hear what that answer is. And a 40th direct in the first week of September, also asking him. I would be super happy if that were the case too. I think it's happening sooner or later. Boo Mini, Paul gets red carpet privileges. He knows people who know people, and those people know people. Enough said. I know a lot of people. For the Super Mario Brothers movie itself, I always like to treat people well, and treat people well just because it's the nice thing to do, it's the easiest thing to do, not I'm doing this for you because then you're going to do something for me, or just because I did this, I'm expecting that. Not at all. It's like, if you want to do something nice, do something nice. If someone wants to do something nice for you, do something nice for you. But I have good relationships. I have good friendships, and it's no secret. I'm not against giving a highlight where it's due. I was invited to the red carpet premiere by Andre Seegers, good friend from Game Explain, and we have a good real friendship, a real relationship, and we have done things for each other, inviting me to this and inviting him to this and doing this for him and him doing this to help me and etc. And in this case, I was his guest at the red carpet premiere of the Super Mario Brothers movie, including the after party. So, yeah. Andre's cool. Andre's a good guy from Game Explain. Oh wait, another question. Oh, Corey Boehm with a super chat and a question. Big thank you, Corey. Awesome. I appreciate it. Late to the party. Hey, we're here. We're good. You're good to be here. There's no too late. Do you think Metroid Prime 4 might get delayed out of 2025? No. At this point, it would really not look that great if, up until a couple of weeks ago, at the fiscal report even, and afterwards, Nintendo's still been holding on to 2025 to now, in the late of August, when there are 4 months left in the year, to say, sorry, it slipped to 2026. I don't think it would look good. I don't think it would be the end of the world if it was like, January 17th or something like that. But, okay, so I take it back a little bit. It would not look good, but it wouldn't look horrible if it was something early like January 17th. It would look pretty bad if it was like May or something, because then it's like, dude, May is really far off from when we all thought about like October, November. You're talking 6-7 month delay, and you probably knew it was that far off for a while. If it slips to January because they thought it might be November, December, that's a little bit more forgivable because you were holding on to, even a couple of weeks ago, 2025, because maybe all along it was like this December 12th kind of game. So January 17th, it's like, oh, okay, Nintendo, fine. You know what I mean? But I don't think it looks good if they delay it now, because you probably would have known for a little bit, right? Unless if it's something like an early January. So no. Is it possible? Yes. Do I think that's the case? No. And it's not just like wishful thinking me not wanting to accept that might be a reality. Heck, like I'm saying, that might be reality, It's possible. But I just don't think so. Good question, though, Corey. And thank you for the super chat one more time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put you in right here. I like to make these colors pop and stand out a little bit different. So, try this one. Cool. That look good? That looks good. All right. Good question, though. Things have been delayed for longer. Things in the past have received similar last minute, hey, everything looks like it's good. Nope, sorry, it's been postponed. Like, what? But I don't think you want to do that with Metroid, because you've made these poor fans, myself included, wait so long. It already did suffer this, 18-month later announcement of, hey, sorry, the game's been rebooted. A long time of radio silence from that January 2019 announcement that it's getting rebooted to freaking June 2024. Wow. So at this point, don't mess with the Metroid fans again. Come on now. At least really hope not. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, I missed when Corey initially came into the chat. So, big hi one more time. Thank you for being here. Michael Gutmann's asking, did anybody in here try out Spider-Man? I mean, if you're asking me, you're asking Oh, you're asking about a specific Steam Deck version of it. I played a little bit of Spider-Man on a Steam Deck once. A couple of minutes to like see what is it like. I played through Spider-Man on my PS4, and then I checked out the improved version of it on PS5, and then I played Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5 because it came out like right there, and Spider-Man 2 on PS5 as well. I know you're not asking me, you're asking about the Steam Deck, but I thought I'd chime in. Free Metroid Hat, you have the OG Steam Deck, but don't play it as much since Switch 2 came out. Yeah, understandable. Oh, heck yeah, Mustache Man. Thank you for answering that question that's from earlier. I forgot about that. Not that I asked you, but I forgot that, like, yeah, it is a cartridge. True physical, otherwise you wouldn't buy it. Ooh, interesting. Okay, some other talks back and forth. And yeah, I think I'm caught up there. So I'm going to go scroll back down. How many sales for Donkey Kong Bonanza? So I don't know, but based off of like, so this one wasn't something that I was told. Otherwise, I would be a little bit more bold with it. You know what I mean? But I said based off of my research, the game within a short amount of time already was close to, if not past, 1 million. With now more time having passed, I could confidently say it's past 1 million. It is officially a 1 million seller. Earlier, I might have jumped the gun a little bit when I said it may have already hit 1 million, where in reality, I might have been a little bit more than like 10% off. So maybe it was, 910,000, 870,000. I don't like to say close to 1 million unless if it's like, within that 870,000 kind of range, because close to 1 million. Well, is 600,000 close to 1 million? I mean, if you're rounding up by 500,000s, then it is. But no, 600,000 is not close to 1 million. 600,000 is, more properly said, over 500,000, right? So if you're close to 1 million, you got to be in like that 850,000 kind of territory. No less than 750,000 to be close, because then it's like, 750,000. There's just better pieces of terminology out there to more accurately describe things, not to let people think astray. So I try to be careful with the words and with the numbers to be accurate, right? So when I said potentially a little over 1 million, I don't know if I had that number exact, but it was quite close, like with that 870, 910 range. But potentially over 1 million. Now I could say, without having an official number, I just know it's over 1 million because I was close before, like I said, and with the data that we have come out and some math in between and hearing good reports on sales from folks, it's over 1 million. Nintendo Switch 2 already has 2 million sellers, and that's awesome. Let's see. I see some conversation back and forth. J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. Welcome. You want Spider-Man on Switch 2? That would be really cool. I'd be tempted to buy it again because I really enjoy it. It's not needed because I already have it, and I rarely replay like a game from start to finish unless if it's something drastically different. Here I am, I have 3 copies of Street Fighter 6, so there are some exceptions, but like a grand story mode, if it's a re-release of it, unless if it's a significant remaster, remake, that kind of special port, I don't typically buy to replay from start to finish. But for the novelty factor, for the cool factor of, dude, this is one of PlayStation's best sellers, one of their best games, one of their biggest IP. They don't own it, it's a Marvel thing and stuff like that. But still, for all intents and purposes, the Spider-Man round of games is by Insomniac Games. It's owned by PlayStation Studios, Sony. Boom, it's a Sony game. That would be pretty cool to have on Nintendo Switch 2. See how it runs, enjoy it, have fun, play with it, and the portable aspect. I mean, I know it's on Steam Deck. I've played a little bit of it on Steam Deck, but I don't own a Steam Deck, so that would be cool. Free Metroid Hat, you gotta go. Pick up a friend. If you're still here, drive safe. Have a good day. Awesome seeing you in this stream for a bit. And once again, thank you for the super chat and for stopping by. Have a good one. And if you don't hear this, well, safe travels regardless. Boom Mini, gotta go back to work. Talk to you later. Talk to you later too. Thank you for being here. And then now I think we've like caught up. Okay. I did say earlier that this stream would be a little bit shorter, but here we are once again. Every time this happens, we get in, we start talking, and 45 minutes go by like that. Like this was intended to be an approximately 30-minute stream, and here it's 45 minutes in, but more and more people showing up. You know, thank you all for the likes, by the way. I see the like counter just going up more and more, so I appreciate it. But one of the things I wanted to talk about that I did not talk about yet is the streaming schedule to come. I ran a poll yesterday. Michael Gutmann, I'll answer that question first. Like I said, a brief minute or two, but it ran fine. This was it last year? Late last year, maybe? Hold on. I just had spring, so maybe it was in like November-ish or something like that of last year. Played it for a couple of minutes, but it was cool. It was fine. Like, I enjoyed it for the couple of minutes that I was playing it, for what it's worth. You know, I don't know about all of the intricates, like what was it running at? Was it optimized resolution? Was it one of those games that you could tell, oh, this is like a really solid port of it, or not? But the thing I want to talk about was the streaming schedule. And then I probably will wrap this up because it was supposed to be a little bit shorter, and I ran a poll yesterday, and it's like 47% of the people, 47% of you, voted for the ideal stream start time for you to tune in and be at these shows would be approximately 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 4 my time, 6 for Central folks, 7 for Eastern folks, and that would be good. Nintendo Prime, welcome! The thing I wanted to talk about is your No Shave November beginning in August. You know what? Yeah. It's been a little while. Yeah, it's growing in okay. How much longer will I go? I don't know. You know, Nintendo Prime, I just came up with a wild one right now. This would be good for one of your streams. I should do it for my own stream, but I can see me doing it on your stream. All right. Let's see, how would I word it? If you drop a $64 super chat, I do a live full shave. But if you drop a $128 super chat, I shave only half and have to keep the half for a week? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm just coming up with that now, Nate. That's a pretty funny one. Don't count me on holding that up right now, but getting back, Nate, you distracted me. I got to get back my shampoo bottles over here. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. What I was saying was the chat that I asked. Well, not the chat, but the audience that I polled. That would be wild. That'd be pretty dope. Oh, don't shave it off. Burn it off. Yeah. A $256 super chat, and the whole thing gets flamed off. But a $512 super chat, only half of it gets burned off, and having to keep it like that for a week. There you go. $300 super chat, you grow the beard out to become Gandalf. Dang. Like $300 to just keep this thing going. Like, hey, you are under a commitment, a contract, Paul, where you've got to let this thing go for, I don't know, how long would it take to get Gandalf? I mean, well, Gandalf style, like down here, that's gonna take, I don't know, a year or something like that. But give me 3 months, I think it'll be pretty sweet. All right. Jay Biggs, NY for life. Paul, do not burn it. Yeah, I know. Fire and me don't mix well. Ollie Salah, I'm glad you like that. James SP, welcome. Ah, jeez. I hate the way it looks. What do you hate the way it looks? The beard? Or Spider-Man? I think you're talking about Spider-Man. Gears of War Reloaded is out. Yeah, on PS5. That's kind of wild times. I responded to Cliffy B's post on X today, like, yeah, we are in some interesting, unexpected times. I would like it to be on Nintendo Switch, too. It would be pretty sweet. I think it would be pretty cool for Cliff Bleszinski, too, because he's an old school Nintendo fan. And I think to have his game essentially be now on Nintendo Switch 2 years later would be a pretty cool trip for him. You're asking me, I still got to get back to the poll. But did it look better on Steam Deck or PS4? See, I played so little of it on a small screen versus, big 4K OLED, even though I was playing the PS4 version at the time. I don't recall at the moment just how much better did one or more look. Okay, James SP, I'll get to that question in just a moment on the upcoming Direct, but I will rewind a little bit to the streaming schedule. I don't want to have a time that is during Nate's time. And I said this before, Nintendo Prime, I don't know if you're here, and it wasn't so much of, although this is also true, no one's going to be here because they're watching yours, but I mean, that is partially true, and like, and no offense to myself, like, you've got a well-established channel that, I don't mind anybody tuning into that one and not this one. But it's not that regard. It's the kind of the opposite side of, I wouldn't want to even have a few people that would normally be enjoying yours just being here and like not having as good of a time with the bells and whistles. I wouldn't want to take away from some of that energy and some of that audience. And that's not saying like, oh, I would be taking away 10s or 20s of viewers or whatever, but just, this is your full-time bread and butter that you finally crafted. And, everyone gets along well within each other's space, but I'm like a little bit more aware of, I wouldn't want to step on any other toes and stuff like that. Like, there's enough slices of the pie. There's enough pies out there for everyone to enjoy. And, when you're streaming, when, OJ is streaming, I want you guys to succeed as much as possible. So I'd rather, not even interrupt that, not even risk interrupting that. So not so much like, oh, people wouldn't show up to mine, but that is true because fewer would, but it's like I wouldn't want to risk taking away some, you know what I mean? Kind of how I look at it, for friends at least and stuff like that. That's how I view stuff. But that being said, I did poll folks the other day, and like 47% of the people out there that responded said the ideal time for me to stream would be for them to watch at 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Maybe that's early enough that the reason why that was so popular of a response is because it conveniently does end before yours would start and stuff like that. And that way it's entertainment that's a little bit different perspective before, your big show with the bells and whistles and stuff like that and the fun. And that would be understandable as to why. Or maybe because, you, OJ, nobody does 7 days a week of streaming. So some of these days that I would offer would be on these other days, right? Nintendo Prime, $1,000. You burn the hair off your head for science. I'd rather burn my facial hair than the hair on my head, because I could go for clean shaven or bearded within a couple of weeks. It's all good. But I've never been bald. And I've done like an AI filter before that looked kind of convincing. And I'm like, okay, some people were like, damn, dude, it looks pretty good. I'm like, oh no, and nothing wrong with being bald, whether it's a lifestyle choice or hey, genetics ended up making it be that way. It's all good. Images and everything. Everybody's a little bit vain in some regards because you care about your looks. The way people look and carry themselves in that regard is kind of like graphics. Graphics attract you to the game, but then what's more important is the gameplay. And then there's a combination of how does it control? What's the story like behind it? What's the unique factor? What's the music, the audio design, etc. That's kind of like people. Looks are the first impression that you get. Then and same with dating. Then you hear how they sound. What's their control? What's their vibe like? What's their story? What's their personality? What makes them tick? So, I guess $1,000, mate, to burn the hair off my head. Maybe. While he's also holding the burning sword, Michael Gutmann says, and doing a yoga flame. Yeah. Oh, hair filled with something flammable. Sword preset so that it will ignite. Liquid power in my mouth, ready to go. Let's see, what would the order be? Hair already on fire? No, hold on. What's the order? Yeah, I guess the hair's got to be on fire. No, hold on. I'm trying to think of this. I'm trying to think this through. Okay, nothing's on fire yet. We're redoing this. We've got the Master Sword in this hand. We just have a stick, a torch if you will, in this hand that's already on fire. Mouth's got the power in it. Yoga fire! Ignite the sword on fire and then hold it above my head. Have the head on fire and then jump in the pool. Yeah. All right. We're doing it. Yeah. The biggest stream of all time and the last one I ever do. It would be a great visual for all 5 seconds before you have to jump in the pool. Yeah, I could pull off another Street Fighter move like M. Bison's Psycho Crusher. Something like that. That'd be cool. Yeah. Y'all giving me some good ideas. Oh, man. So, all that being said, rewind to the beginning. I'm considering a regular stream. Roger Enyart, welcome. Good afternoon. I feel bad because I'm just about to end it on this closing note. But welcome. Hang in here. I kind of like these random drop-ins. None of them have been set to a time. I just do it. For better or worse. For better, it's spontaneous and fun, and I want to talk, and boom, I just start talking. For worse, nobody knows when I'm going to go on, and unless if you have notifications on or you're not working, it's like, oh, I'm getting a little thing that Gale Network is on. I can't watch now, or like you're working, you're at school, and like it's just not an opportune time. Most people are on work right now. Lunchtime, depending on what coast you're in school, like you're not out. There's a reason why late afternoon, early evening, late night works better. So I might see what does a 4 p.m. my time work tomorrow, Wednesday, and 4 p.m. on Thursday. I could put up a note on YouTube and X like, hey, tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock for a stream. You know what I mean? I'll let it be known, experimenting with different times. I'd like to have something a little bit more regular, perhaps. There still is the idea of one stream a week being exercise related, possibly. We did some awesome stuff with Nintendo Prime in the past. Nate and I did talk recently, within the last couple of weeks, of like maybe redoing a new workout stream on his show on Mondays again. But we'll see. I'm open to that. Like, Nate's awesome, and anytime that Nintendo Prime and I get to collaborate on anything big or small, it's just always cool and fun, and just a couple of buds doing something neat together. Obviously, you could go to Nintendo Prime's YouTube channel and watch the shorts and watch his regular videos, and what's going on my end. It's mostly shorts, but I put up a nice 45-minute deep dive like Nintendo Direct predictions video today, which was a lot of fun. And then on Thursdays the intent is to have a video game sales stream. At least that's the intention of the start of the stream, and then we would continue from there with other stuff, as it wouldn't take an hour to discuss video game sales coming out of Famitsu from Japan. Although that stream, it makes sense to do it earlier in the morning, because it would be the first way of getting that news out there before it hits, because I get that news really early. So maybe I do a video game sales video to kick off the morning, and then do the stream at the more favorable 4 p.m. time. I don't know. Thank you all for bearing with me as I'm trying to piece together something that's a little bit new. I've been making YouTube content for 19 years. I think my OG videos of video game stuff, exercise stuff, martial arts stuff, skit stuff, but mostly gaming centric stuff, goes back to like late 2006 or early 2007. I've been on YouTube for a long time. But in terms of regular live streaming, the way I'm doing now, kind of just within the last couple of weeks. I mean, I did one, like July 2nd or so for, my birthday celebration, which was July 7th. And that was also part of like, hey, hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, do a little eShop giveaway, because I said I would do that $20 card. But now I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm in the mood for some regular talk. I love it. I love the conversation. I love the engagement. It's a lot of fun. And here we are at 62 minutes. That's been a lot of fun. Thank you all for being here. I hate to end it, but it was only going to be like a 30-40 minute stream. And then we just kept talking and talking, and more people showed up here, and it's been a blast. So, Roger, I hope you had a good time even watching for a few minutes. If you want, feel free to rewind and watch the stream from the beginning, or you might enjoy, it's like a 45-minute video, but I made a pretty fun Nintendo Direct Ultimate like predictions video of what I would like to see happen in a couple of weeks. Tater Salad, welcome, as I am about to end the stream, unfortunately. James SP, see ya. Wahoo! And Michael Gutmann, you're asking Nate a question. When he played Silksong, does he know if there was a difficult setting or if the game was just easier? I played Silksong also, like Nate did, at E3 2019. Dude, that's been 6 years. That's a while. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wait until my timer says Nintendo 64 minutes, because that's a pretty good time to end the stream, at the Nintendo 64 minute mark. So I'm just going to sit here rocking back and forth, debating, should I cut the hair now or wait for Nate to drop $1,000 so I light it on fire, and that's how I get rid of the beard? I don't know. Ooh, that's dangerous. It's dangerous to joke about that kind of stuff, I know you're okay being late. That's okay. I didn't put up a designated time, but it looks like folks still show up at random times, which is awesome. I appreciate it. But according to the poll, more people would show up at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So I think I'm going to try that. Michael Gutmann, there was no difficulty settings. It's just a section from the very beginning of the game, says Nintendo Prime. And then, so now you're asking me the same thing, Michael Gutmann himself. Yeah, I don't know either. Been too long since I played it, but I don't believe that there was any option to change anything. You just play the demo and that was it. We'll see about the new one. We'll find out very soon. All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. I can't kick you over to anything, but just based off of things that I would recommend you do, go check out Nintendo Prime's channel as soon as this is done. See what video he's got cooking. Watch his short. I heard it's pretty dope. And stay tuned for his upcoming live streams. And if you need to fill up that time in between checking out Nate's stuff and my stuff now, well, one more thing of mine that I put up this morning is my Nintendo Switch Nintendo Direct anticipation / prediction video. That's pretty sweet. You might like that. Richard Polly, hello. And now I gotta say goodbye to everybody because now I've got to roll more than I did before. But it's just too much fun talking. All right, take it easy. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you around. If you're in Nate's chat later on, I'll be there. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.